Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Ex-Cowboys quarterback brought in by Steelers before start of camp. An ex-Dallas Cowboys quarterback is trying to find a new NFL home. As noted by Cherian Williams of Pro Football Talk, the Pittsburgh Steelers worked out former Cowboys quarterback Ben DiNucci on Tuesday, July 23. The workout took place just before the start of training camp, with Pittsburgh opening camp the next day. DiNucci had actually spent the 2023 season backing up the Steelers' current favorite to start at quarterback, Russell Wilson. The Steelers worked out free agent quarterback Ben DiNucci on Tuesday, writes Williams. DiNucci spent last season on the Broncos practice squad, helping back up Russell Wilson, now the Steelers starter. The Broncos waived DiNucci in May. The 27-year-old DiNucci is best known for his tenure with the Cowboys, where he was a 7th-round draft pick back in 2020. DiNucci played 2 years in Dallas, spending the 2020 season as a backup. Injuries to starter Dak Prescott and backup Andy Dalton eventually paved the way for DiNucci to make a start during the season. In his lone start with the Cowboys, DiNucci threw for 180 passing yards, lost 2 fumbles and was sacked 4 times as Dallas lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, 23-9, on Sunday Night Football. The Pittsburgh Panthers and James Madison alum would go on to spend the 2021 season on the practice squad before he was waived by the Cowboys prior to the start of the 2022 season. The 6'2" DiNucci holds career totals of 219 passing yards with 0 touchdowns and a 53.4% completion rate in 3 games and 1 start during his NFL career, all occurring during his rookie season. While DiNucci hasn't found much success during his NFL career, he has found it while playing in another professional football league, the XFL. During the 2023 season with the Seattle Sea Dragons, DiNucci led the league in most major categories, including passing yards, 2,671, attempts, 374, completions, 272, and interceptions, 13. He also ranked second in the league with 20 passing touchdowns. However, he also threw a league-high 13 interceptions. During his collegiate career, DiNucci had his most productive years with FCS school James Madison during the 2018 and 2019 seasons, leading the James Madison Dukes to the title game during his senior season, as Tribune Live's Tim Benz notes. DiNucci threw 29 touchdowns against just 6 interceptions with a 70.9% completion rate while being named the CAA, Coastal Athletic Association, Offensive Player of the Year. A 2016 graduate of Pine Richland High School, DiNucci spent the next 3 seasons as a member of the Pitt Panthers after initially committing to Penn, writes Benz. He appeared in 12 games and started 6. Eventually, DiNucci transferred to James Madison. There he started 29 games and got the Dukes to the FCS title game as a senior in 2019. DiNucci is obviously a local product, having played college ball in Pittsburgh and spending his high school years at Gibsonia, which is roughly 30 minutes away from Pittsburgh. Considering the Steelers already have 4 quarterbacks on their roster, Wilson, Justin Fields, Kyle Allen and John Reese Plumlee, it's likely that Pittsburgh is merely taking a look at DiNucci rather than seriously considering signing him at the current moment. Steelers training camp observations. Pat Freiermuth dazzles, big slot CB change made. The Pittsburgh Steelers took the field for the first time at training camp on Thursday. Meanwhile, not only did Russell Wilson not practice after suffering from calf tightness, but others stood out, too. Here's some of the takeaways from the first day of Steelers training camp. The star of Thursday was easily Pat Freiermuth. No one was as heavily targeted as he was, and Freiermuth won all over the field. When he talked this spring about an expanding route tree, he was not kidding. Freiermuth ran a corner route, a hitch, stick and nod, up the seam, a slant, a slot fade, and many others all just on Thursday. That is a far more diverse route tree, and he even admitted that he had not run a corner route very often under Matt Canada. Slants, digs, and all that, I'm running it, Freiermuth said. Yeah. Yeah. It's been awesome to add that full route tree to my repertoire. And it's been great. It's been fun. Everything's been great. Freiermuth had to be targeted over 10 times in a practice where the Steelers did far less intensive team work than most practices. He caught just about every ball thrown his way, and this is why he is in line for an extension. Freiermuth is a savvy route runner that finds the soft spots in zones and makes tough grabs with vice grip hands. He can be that safety blanket for these quarterbacks, and it should be expected that he will end up being that. I said in the spring that Beanie Bishop stood out. While the Steelers did not use the nickel all that much on Thursday, when they did, Beanie Bishop ran with the first team. That is one way to show the undrafted rookie that the spring matters. Bishop is a ball hawk with an appetite to get involved in the run game at all costs. Josiah Scott, Grayland Arnold, and others will push him with Cam Sutton's suspension on deck, but it remains just as likely that Bishop ends up winning that job with Sutton on the sidelines. He's not elite in coverage, but he is sticky enough to hold there. As a blitzer, he fits the ideal type the Steelers like in that spot. Heyward expresses desire to retire with Steelers, not giving up hope of getting new contract. Cam Heyward said Thursday he wants to retire with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The 35-year-old defensive tackle also understands it's likely not his call. It's my goal, yeah. Not everybody thinks like that, Heyward said after the Steelers' first training camp practice at St. Vincent College. I want to be here. But a lot of football to be played this season and for a couple seasons. But I can only focus on what's in front of me. Heyward, selected to the Pro Bowl in 6 of his past 7 seasons, is entering the final season of a 4-year, $64 million extension signed in September 2020. He had 2 sacks and 33 tackles last season, missing 6 games after tearing his groin muscle in a season-opening loss to San Francisco. About an hour after practice Thursday, General Manager Omar Khan said he isn't concerned with Heyward's health entering season number 14. Heyward was drafted in the first round, number 31, by Pittsburgh out of Ohio State in 2011. As for Heyward's future with the Steelers, Khan said he believes it will last past this season. I'm not going to talk about a specific negotiation, but I think Cam's got a lot of football ahead of him still. I'll leave it at this, I expect him to be here for years to come, Khan said. Last year, he had a rough stretch there. But I'm confident in the way he works and in Cam, the person and the player, obviously. I have no doubt that Cam has a lot of football left. Heyward said he was able to move past the injury in the offseason. I feel good. My groin is great, if you really want to ask, Heyward said. I don't feel any lingering effects with that. I feel excited just to be out there and dealing with what I dealt with last year. I was nursing it during training camp last year, so to be full strength and not really have to worry about it is really a good sign. Moving on from contract speculation hasn't been as easy since the Bills eliminated the Steelers in the wild card round last postseason. Back on the field, Heyward said he has less time to dwell on possible negotiations. For me, I can't control that, he said. I'm not going to get my hopes up either way. I'm not going to put stock into that. It's just about trying to get better every day. The off-season, you can dwell on it. You can't do anything about it. But the thing I can control is I can be productive. I can be healthy. If they believe in me, they think I can play more, so be it. If they don't, do somewhere else. Am I confident? I don't like to go either way with that because you get your hopes up and something doesn't happen. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Cam Heyward? Leave your opinion in the comments.